Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to access our Instructional Technology SharePoint site so that you can look and see some of those open educational resources we have available on that site. First, on any internet-enabled device that has a browser, you're going to go to the browser on any browser, type in portal.office.com. When you do that, it's going to ask you to log in. You want to use your copy credentials to log in. It's the same information you use for Blackboard and Eagle Links. And when you do that, you will see all the apps that are available to you through Office 365. For this particular tutorial, we're going to look at SharePoint. So we're going to click on SharePoint. If the instructional technology page does not show up when you first see it, you can look in the search box directly to the left and type in instructional technology. It will show up on the bottom, and then you just have to click on it to access it. When you do that, you will be taken to our page that has numerous printable tutorials and videos for a lot of the technology we use here at Coppin. But for this tutorial, we're going to go where it says Open Educational Resources. On this page, you will see an explanation as to what open educational resources are, why you should consider using them. And then if you scroll further down on the page, you will see where it says General Resources. So these general resources, anything that is underlined indicates that is a website. If you click on those actual websites, you can go to these general resources and see if you can find some open educational resources that might be useful for your class. Now, further down on the page, you will also see that I have also broken the open educational resources by discipline. So I've gone in and I've looked over our course catalog and I've looked over some of the offerings. So I try to find some good ones to put on these pages that might be good to use for your students. Now, having said that, this page is a good resource, but it's not the end-all be-all. There are many, many open educational resources available to you. And as such, you are not restricted to only using the resources on this page. This page is really a good starting point if you're not sure where to look or you've never considered using open educational resources. It's a really good place to look. And I will update it as I find different resources, but you're certainly not restricted to only using these resources. You know your content better than anybody else, so you know if this stuff is good for your students or if it won't be. So let me go and show you an example of a page. I'm going to click on the Applied Psychology page. And when I see that, I will see that there's a heading that says Open Textbooks and Articles. So that indicates that anything underneath that heading is an open textbook or an article. And then I'll see there's another heading that says Open Access Courseware, indicating that anything underneath that heading is an open courseware. And what open courseware is that an educator or a professor has created course content that they have made readily available to anyone. And as such, you are allowed to use that information. You can use the entire course as it is designed, or you can pick and choose. So for example, if a professor has a particularly powerful video that they use as part of their course, you can also use that same video in your course. You do not have to use everything that they've used in their course. You can pick and choose what you want and what you feel will be appropriate for what your students are learning. Well, the nice things about open educational resources is that they're coming out with a lot of open access textbooks. So instead of a physical textbook that a student would have to buy, which can get quite expensive, they can have a digital textbook. And so let me show you an example of what one of those looks like. So if I click on the mathematics page, I will see a heading that says Open Access Textbooks, and I'm going to look at this linear algebra one. So when I click on that, it will take me to that page, and I can see that this is an actual textbook. It looks like a textbook. The only difference is it's not a physical textbook, so all the students need is a link. They only need this link, and then they have access to the textbook. You can put that link on your Blackboard course, and then the students have access to their textbook on any device that can connect to the internet. So they can read their textbook on their phone. They can read their textbook on their tablet or their laptop. If they so choose to, then they can print out specific pages to their textbook, but they don't have to. They can have it all readily available to them It's free for them to use, and it saves them a lot of money and stress about having to worry about how they're going to pay for a particular book because, as we know, they can get quite expensive. And so I encourage you to look at our Open Educational Resources page, start diving in and start looking at what's available there. If you see something that if you think of something that might be useful on that page, let me know and I'll see if I can find something that might be good quality that I'll add to it. I will add things as I find them. However, like I said, you are free to explore, and then please reach out to us at Instructional Technology if you want additional trainings or ways that you can implement this with your students.